After a 2-month absence, we're back with another Doctor Who review. This is for Last Christmas, and I'm joined by FreezingInferno.
Hi!
And Kat.
Yay!
We were hoping to get the gang all here again, but Kuchiri is not here for whatever reason, unfortunately.
Because he's an idiot.
It is such a good thing that he knows that you're joking whenever you insult him like that, but...
Yes.
Anyway,
Okay.
our Christmas special
Sure.
this time, Last Christmas.
That is the name of the show, yeah.
And this is a really interesting one. Basically, it's all to do about dreams. And dreams within dreams. Within dreams,
It's
within dreams,
Inception.
within dreams.
It's Inception with Doctor Who.
It's Inception, but taken to a crazier level.
Would we call this a parody or an homage to
Not a
Inception?
parody. Not a parody.
Definitely, yeah, it's homage. That's the
I guess
word.
it is played really seriously.
But it's not really ripping it off at the same time. It is, but it isn't because, the whole Doctor Who flair. This is just what Doctor Who does. I mean, look at this season alone. Robot of Sherwood was Doctor Who does Robin Hood. Time Heist was Doctor Who does Ocean's 11. So
Yeah.
This is Doctor Who does Inception and a bunch of other weird things thrown into it at the same time.
In the Forest of the Night was Doctor Who does pure shit.
No, Cat, hang on. You're grossly uneducated here. In the Forest of the Night was Doctor Who does William Blake mixed with pure shit.
I have no idea who William Blake is, so...
He's the guy who wrote the poem.
Tiger in the
Yeah.
Tiger Burning Bright in the Forest of the Night. He wrote it.
And all my interest just went out the window.
Okay,
That
well,
was
let's
fast.
talk about the actual episode we came to review. Because
Alright.
even though this is heavily influenced by Inception, I actually found it kind of original.
Well, because this is the thing with this episode. It has so many other influences that it becomes sort of a Christmas stew of influences that the Moth has just brewed up for us for Christmas dinner.
And it somehow works.
Yeah, it's one of those good things where it takes influence from something else that already exists, but it turns it in such a way that it makes it its own, so you don't really notice it. You accept the idea that, yeah, okay, this is Inception, but it's done so well that you don't care.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. So we start off with the opening sequence, which was really long this time, 5 minutes before the credits rolled.
Mm.
And we get our first appearance of Santa Claus and his elves meeting Clara on the roof.
Hey, hang on. I thought Cat had dibs on mentioning Santa.
Motherfucking Santa!
Did she?
Well, I
She
didn't know.
She
Do
did
you want me to
last
redo
time.
that bit?
No, that's fine.
I was kidding. I was kidding because
We're joking with you.
because of
However,
that
can I
thing.
say that one of the elves is played by Strax, and that is why I love those elves so much. They were actually genuinely funny to me.
Dan Starkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
The elves were basically comic relief, but they were pretty funny.
Just the elves? Santa was pretty much comic relief too.
Well,
No, he
yeah,
wasn't.
He is Nick Frost.
He's not comic relief, he's a major part of the episode.
But half of his lines are like jokes.
Yeah, he has some comedic lines, but he's got an actual part to play, whereas the elves are simply there to be comedy.
Okay.
Santa Claus is sort of the one that entices the elves into saying their lines. He's the one who gives them the opportunity to make the jokes.
And you mentioned Dan Starkey. It's nice to see him actually be able to use his real face.
Hmm.
As
That's
opposed to
good.
being behind a prosthetic that looks really uncomfortable and hard to
Potato.
breathe in.
He's behind a potato half the time.
Behind a potato, that works too.
Oh.
Now, I'd actually seen parts of the introduction because they released it as a preview for Children in Need. It was the Doctor and Santa and Clara on the rooftop.
Oh yeah, I saw that too, huh?
By the way, who in the hell has such a nice rooftop that they can actually access it that way?
Well, that's the
I
whole
mean-
point.
It was perfectly flat and they were able to get on it, and, like, yes, I know the whole plot twist at the end, blah, 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 I know that. But it's still a really big rooftop.
That's the clever thing about this episode, because on the first watch, you're just sort of, going along, it's Christmas Day, you're just watching Doctor Who. On the second watch, you really start to see things that should have given you a hint, but you weren't looking for them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's one
that-
of them.
Yeah, that happens.
That their
in
house
real
is
life.
so large and so perfect, it couldn't possibly be hers. on a teacher's salary.
Is she still a teacher, though? Because I don't think...
I don't
know,
think
she
she is anymore.
Yeah, she might have quit since, Danny died, and that was the same school he worked at. So I could see her...
Since Danny...
I could see her quitting that school, at least.
Since Danny died...
I'm still mad about that.
Well, you'll be a little bit less mad as we go up throughout the episode, because they did come back to that, which was nice to see.
Oh no, I'm still mad. It's just, it was like teasing us. It was like, it's like they took the chocolate away from us, and then they waved it in our faces and said, see, this is what you could have, but guess what? Nope. And then they threw it away.
Yeah.
So,
but it's
I'm
fairly obvious. I mean, you mentioned the twist, and I've kind of done away with the spoiler warnings, because, hell, it's a review. People should expect spoilers now.
Yeah, by now they should realize, oh hey, there's going to be fun.
But it's fairly obvious on the second time you watch it that we're looking at a dream, but I didn't think of that when I was watching it on Christmas Day, as I've already explained.
Spoilers! Oh my god!
And then we... Get over it. And
in the episode about dream crabs, that takes, it's a plot from Inception. It's a dream. Oh no. I
did love the little tweak they gave to the credits, again.
With Nick Frost's name coming up after
well, not just Nick Frost, but there's like snowflakes in it, and then the actors' names melting away like they were snow themselves.
That's cute, I guess.
It's just a nice little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about the real meat of the episode then. The Doctor.
Yep.
What did we all think about Capaldi's performance in this?
I liked it.
I loved it.
I like Capaldi. He's grown on me. He really has.
I think it's no secret I was a huge fan of Capaldi even before Series 8 aired. But he's just such a good Doctor. And it's good to see him and Jenna Coleman back on the screen together.
Yeah, I have a question. This involves the true identity of Santa Claus, and I'm wondering, can I talk about it while we're talking about the Doctor, or should I wait till we actually talk about Santa Claus?
Oh, just talk about it, please.
Okay, so the idea is that during all of this that's happening, Santa Claus is a form of their subconscious fighting back against what's happening in these dreams.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me is that Santa Claus is the one who's explaining stuff, which is what the Doctor usually does. And Santa Claus first appears to the Doctor in, the previous episode that we do not talk about.
And this is what Kuchiri was going to bring up if he'd been in this review. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, it's Santa Claus, the Doctor's subconscious, that's talking here.
No.
I don't know. I think I can see it like
Stephen Moffat's already confirmed that everything that happened in the episode until the last few minutes, when they woke up for the final time, was a dream.
Yes, I'm saying it's
and the sequence with him in the TARDIS
Brainiac.
at the end of... Yeah, sorry.
Brainiac. I'm saying, is Santa Claus the form of the Doctor's subconscious?
He's their collective subconscious.
Okay, yes, but he seems to draw a lot of influence from the Doctor.
I was going to mention this when we got to talking about Santa Claus, but I can talk about it now if you want to.
You told her to go with this.
Yeah, all right, okay. So he's a collective imagining of the dreamer's mind. So the four people in the base, Clara and the Doctor. So he has different parts of their personality. So he's got Shona's attitude, and he rattles off Doctor-esque technobabble. That's my take on him, anyway.
Well, I guess that's true. I mean, I can see some Clara in him. Although everybody else, they technically don't have a personality, so...
That's a very good point, apart from one very important exception that we'll get to later.
Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't like, is that some of the other actors didn't really get... Their characters didn't get a personality. They were just there.
Well, they had an hour to work with, but yeah, fair enough.
It's like there was one person in the four that I actually cared about, and that was Dancing Girl.
We'll get to Dancing Girl, as you call her, later, because this is very...
No, seriously, what was her name? I can't remember.
Shona.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm fine with Dancing Girl. I'm fine with Dancing Girl. That works for me. That's fine.
No, you know what? I'm going to call her Dancing Queen.
Oh my god. She isn't young and sweet or 17.
Well, we don't know
How do you know?
But...
You got me there.
Right, sorry.
Anywho, What were you on about?
I was trying to talk about Capaldi and Coleman's chemistry on screen together, and how it's good to see them again, even though it's only been 2 months. And I
swear to God, their chemistry was more of the Doctor 12 shipping.
I like the
Anybody
fact.
else agree?
I'm going to ignore that remark.
Oh my God.
For the sake of everything that's good in the world, I'm going to ignore that remark. It's only been 2 months since we last saw them, but I do like the fact that, at least in the beginning of the episode, it's obvious that their chemistry hasn't quite recovered to the level that it used to be. And, that's perfectly natural, given what happened in Death in Heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny is dead, and the Doctor lied about finding Gallifrey. And I love the fact they actually addressed that.
It's kind of sudden, but in a way it works kind of here, simply because of the fact that they're very emotional at the time, so they just shout out the first thing that they can say to make the other one upset.
Well, people were hoping against all hope, that they would actually, address what happened and go back to it,
I
and
was
they have
hoping
done.
that too. I was hoping that too, so I am glad that they addressed that.
Because they couldn't have let that be the end between them, where just that horribly, horribly depressing scene in the cafe.
Yeah, my other hope is that in the next one, that they actually do talk a little bit more about it. Just because, like I said, the way they did here, it was just so sudden. There was really no talking about it. There was just going on.
Kind of like how Stephen Moffat resolves an entire mystery series-long arc in like 2 lines last Christmas.
Are you really going to bring that up again? We talked about this, damn it. That laugh.
So surprisingly, we only had 1 red shirt, so that was good.
Yeah, we can talk about the crew. Let's get the Expendables. I don't mean the movie out of the way.
Can I bring up something that's just
interesting
that I read on Tumblr? The base crew members, let's call them. They're all women except for one guy, and the one guy is the one who gets offed in the episode.
Well, this is a dream, and there's 4 women in the dream and 2 men. Go figure.
Oh. Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as base technicians go, he's the only one.
Yeah, the only thing I'm surprised about is that there wasn't any dreams of orgies.
Oh God.
At least on the dude's part, just because he looked like the kind of guy who would do that.
Well, he does feel up Shona.
Ew.
She mentions it in the dialogue. He says, "I stopped concentrating when he touched my knee."
Oh my God.
Did you not catch that the first time?
To be fair, Christmas Day was pretty tiring for me.
Fair enough.
So.
I like how we've already broken him. Oh, still has so far to go.
Mission accomplished.
But yeah, there is leader chick who I don't really care about. There's
Ashley Carter, yeah.
One old chick who I only know her because the Doctor calls her sexy.
Bellows, yeah.
There's fat dude who dies.
Professor Albert.
And then there's Dancing Girl, who is the only one I actually care about because she's the only one who has a lot of character development.
Yeah, the base personnel don't get much of character development. Although I did like the fact that Bellows, when she woke up from her dream, was in a wheelchair. That was kind of a touching moment.
Yeah, it was definitely a very sad moment because you could see her looking down. You could almost see that she kind of remembered.
She was trying to move. She was trying to get up on the chair, and she couldn't do it. So yeah, that was sad.
And then you could see her. You could see it all just blank out, and then she just went on with her life.
He basically calls them in the sequence where he's throwing them the dream manuals the second time. Gobby one is Shona. Uptight boss one is Ashley Carter. Sexy one is Bellows, and Professor Albert doesn't even get a name.
Oh my God!
And needless to say, need I point out that he's played by Michael Troughton?
Oh, really?
The son of Patrick Troughton.
The other son of Patrick Troughton.
The other son of Patrick Troughton. Brother of David, who appeared in The Curse of Peladon and Midnight.
And the War Games.
Is he in the War Games?
Yep.
I didn't know that. But he's a son of a previous Doctor, and you kill him off!
Well, yeah.
I think you just broke some kind of unwritten rule.
Did you not see what they did to Jenny?
She lived.
I know, but she still pretty much got buried alive, so...
Well, in terms of never being mentioned again, yes, she got buried alive, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of the storyline, I see what you're getting at, but she actually did live at the end of the episode. This
I can
guy
actually,
didn't.
it's
Yeah,
funny.
but she lived, but she went on to do nothing.
Can
He
I say one
bit into
thing
a turk.
quick?
Go on.
It's funny because I can think of another instance where the son of an actor who played the Doctor got killed in the thing, but it wasn't on TV. It was in audio.
That doesn't count then.
You shush. The audio was totally counted. You watched Night of the Doctor before 8 regenerated. He name dropped all his companions. The audios are canon. Deal with it.
Yes, I know.
Fight, kiss,
I'm
kiss.
winding. I'm winding you up, even though it is Christmas. But we're jumping right all over the place here. But you know what? That's fine. So yeah, the base personnel don't really get much character development. And what the hell was up with Ashley Carter saying "God blesses everyone"? Well, that was kind of random.
Christmas. Oh, I think I have a reason why they don't have... Well, I can think of something. I don't know. It's just probably
I can think of a
excuse
reason.
it.
Fucking Tiny Tim from Christmas Carol.
Oh,
I
no.
get what she's
not that.
quoting.
Not that. I mean, the whole base personnel don't have much personality thing. They're basically playing into tropes because, well, spoilers, the entire point of the whole base and the dream crabs and thing are because of Shona's horror movie marathon that she's watching for some reason.
I was going to mention that, but yes.
Are we going to bring that up when we get to Shona, or
We can do, but yeah, she has an itinerary, doesn't she? And it's got the thing from another world, Alien, and the Miracle from 34th Street. Miracle on 34th Street. And if you blend them together, you pretty much get this episode.
So we know where, like, the scenario came from.
Well,
which is
now
important.
that I think about it, all of this kind of does tie in. We have Shona has the layout, pretty much, alongside of, I guess, Albert, because he's the one who mentions that the aliens look like face huggers. So those two create the environment using, their outside stuff. Ashley, she said she was in sales for perfume, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She might have a dream to be, the leader of this sales department. So she, of course, would become the leader of the group.
I'll buy it.
And then with Fiona, it could be just as simple as she wants to walk again. Maybe she wasn't always in a wheelchair.
Again, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
So it could be that all of this is exactly like you said. It's a conglomeration of all their subconsciousness.
And just one last thing about Ashley Carter. Some people were saying that she was a possible candidate to be a future companion. I don't buy it.
She had the personality of a rock.
She's smart and authoritative. She's straight to the point. The Doctor admits to liking her. So yeah, in some respects, she fits the criteria.
Journey Blue had more character development than she did.
Yeah, and Kuchiri still wants her back in the TARDIS. Or in the TARDIS to begin with. But it's not going to happen.
No.
I don't think. It's a shame, but it's not going to happen. There hasn't been the outcry for her to join the TARDIS crew in the same way that there has for another character to join the TARDIS crew, and I'm really surprised at this.
Santa?
Shona.
Because I would love to see Santa Claus and the Doctor.
The fan reaction to Shona McCullough, to give her full name, played by Faye Marzi, has been absolutely off the page.
Yeah, I can see that.
People were already speculating she was going to be the next companion at the end of the episode. For reasons we'll get into when we talk about Clara in depth.
It's weird because I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, I'm not like, yes, please, yes. I think I have a reason for that, too. It goes back to the audios again, because Shona's basically like a sassy girl with a northern accent, right?
She's got a northeast accent. The actress comes from Middlesbrough.
I don't know where the hell that is, but okay,
Middlesbrough's
yeah.
near Newcastle.
Look, she fits the criteria of a 20-year-old woman who could be mildly attracted to the Doctor. She fits a companion's role perfectly.
Sure, but yeah, but
There's more to it than that. Come on.
Well,
No, there's really not.
I'm more used to Lucy Miller from the audio dramas because she's like she's basically Donna if Donna were from Blackpool.
Represent.
Yeah. And she's brilliant, and she owns, and that's what I think of when I think of sassy Northerner companions. I think of Lucy Bleeding Miller.
Okay. Lucy Bleeding Miller, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have fallen in love with Shona, and they're clamoring for her to be part of Series 9 or in the future. And I do think there are some hints that we will see her again. I mean, the way she exited the sleigh scene at the end suggested she was the only one of them that wanted to maybe have more adventures.
I think she was just lonely. Because, I mean, you saw her Christmas list. It was just to sit at home and watch movies
old
and
movies.
possibly forgive, I don't know, I guess her boyfriend?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's Dave?
So, she's incredibly lonely. I would not be surprised if she just wanted to, even if it was perfect strangers who just shared a life or death situation.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
She would want to be there with them.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And this involves a little bit of information about Series 9, so if people consider this a spoiler, then I apologise, but really, it's just one title of an episode. The first episode of Series 9 has not been filmed yet, but for some reason, they released the title. It's called The Magician's Apprentice. And who do we know, other than Santa, who also said it, that called the Doctor a magician several times in the episode?
Phil Sandifer.
Shona.
Shit.
Phil Sandifer? He wasn't in last Christmas. God damn it, Fresno.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, Shona. Some people are speculating that because of that, she's going to be introduced to the TARDIS in addition to Clara in the first episode of Series 9.
That's a pretty weak reasoning.
I'd be all
No
for it.
offense, but it's not.
Not so much because of Shona's character, though she did have her moments, but because it would really shake up the series again to have two companions.
Yeah.
Especially two companions that aren't attracted to each other.
Well, they could be attracted to each other.
Well, no, because Clara's never gotten over Danny Pink. So
they could be attracted to each other. You don't know that.
Okay, yeah, but somehow, and I'm not having a go at... As I've said, I've got lesbian relations.
Fight! Kiss!
Shut up! This is going so badly.
No, it's going great. The only thing I want is for somebody to get sawed in half. That's all I want. Clara, the Doctor, somebody gets sawed in half and starts floating around separate.
And there is actually... Here's where I go out on a limb, because Clara was not originally... It was not originally known if Clara... Jenna Coleman was going to be staying for Series 9, part of Series 9, all of Series 9. There were different rumours, some saying that she was actually going to be dying at the end of the episode as an old lady. More on that at the end.
Yeah.
And that she would be replaced by somebody in the episode. Now, we know now that Jenna Coleman is staying for all of Series 9. It was revealed, believe it or not, it was actually revealed in the press conference following the premiere screening of Last Christmas. So that's another time they've kept a secret until they wanted to come out. So good on you, BBC.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean that they can't be joined by another friend, another companion. And also, the Mirror, and again, take this with a pinch of salt because it's the Mirror, but they said that Clara was going to be in the first 6 episodes and then leave. And therefore, the scripts they'd written had to be torn up and started again. That's all well and good. I can see them doing that. I can't see them hiring the next companion actress and then at the last second say, oh, sorry, Jenna Louise Coleman decided she's staying on for another series, you're out of a job.
Oh, boy.
It would be so much easier to just write in Clara into the Series 9 scripts.
True.
I'm probably just making way too much out of it, but can I talk about Shona's best scene by far?
Her dancing?
And probably the reason why so many people have fallen in love with the character. Her dancing through the infirmary.
The whole time I was so scared that she was going to accidentally knock into one of the beds.
Oh, same.
So that's like the only reason I was tense. Otherwise, it was hilarious and
It
fun.
was amazing. It would have been even better if Last Christmas by Wham had been playing in their ears instead of Merry Christmas Brought by Slade, but I guess they couldn't get the rights to it. It still works.
It's dissonant because you've got this happy dancing Christmas song and then you've got this tension. Oh, I guess we're not going to talk about the Dream Crabs yet.
We're about to talk about the Dream Crabs, but yes, when she's basically singing the song, and she's also, I think, partly responsible for the best part of the dialogue in the episode. 3 little words. My Little Pony. I will mark you, Santa.
Oh no.
That's what I like. She's got some attitude about her. She doesn't just take it.
Yeah, and even she was the one who was constantly, questioning Santa too.
Again.
So it's like she wanted to believe, but she also couldn't believe.
Intuition is another vital part of being a companion.
Yep.
And she says, if you catch, she says, "Am I dreaming?" at the beginning.
Well, no.
Again, this is what I say about them dropping hints and clues that you don't pick up on the first time around.
I think the one thing that would hold her back is the fact that, no offense to the character itself, but she is what they would call stupid in this world, where she's too lazy to look at her manual. She doesn't really catch on to stuff all that fast. So that could be the stuff that holds her back.
She might not be like that in the real world, though.
Maybe. I don't know.
And also, he does say to her, "Congratulations, you're not an idiot."
Yeah, point. But that implies that he knew, he thought that she was an idiot beforehand, and she had one moment of brilliance.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, like, if you had this ultimate fantasy where you would be one of the heroes in an Arctic base that was being terrorized by a monster, would you make yourself the stupid one?
Maybe not, but I'm of the belief that because of it's her itinerary that basically formulates the dream from the horror movies in Miracle on 34th Street, it's basically her point of view. And again, that screams to me of important character for the future.
Maybe. Maybe she'll have some sort of special power to herself, where...
I doubt it.
Not necessarily, like... It doesn't have to be something like, oh, she has psychic powers, woo!
Oh, God.
No, I'm just saying that rather than she's smart, she has the power of imagination, where she is super great at imagining the most odd and crazy stuff, and then it works. Something like that. I mean, her first appearance was her dancing through a room of monsters.
Exactly.
That's pretty creative.
That's also companion material, but I think we talked enough about whether she will not be a future companion. Let's talk about Santa then, a bit more.
Motherfucking Santa!
There we go. Do we think Nick Frost did a good job?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that was easy.
I
liked him.
have to say, this almost completely redeemed the appearance of Santa in Death in Heaven.
Well, which we now know was
in
part of the dream.
retrospect, Death in Heaven really ended with Clara walking off, and the credits cutting in was just the first minute of Last Christmas.
Yeah, he was already asleep. He was already dreaming at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly, she's not all right, and neither are you. Makes perfect sense.
Ah.
You're not all right because you've got an alien organism digesting your brains.
Really, though, I would have left that off of Death in Heaven and just had that as the preview trailer for the episode. And then they could have the Children in Need special, and then they could go on to the actual episode itself. I don't think it should not have been part of Death in Heaven. That's what I'm saying.
I think we are in agreement there, but there you go. I did love his entrance into the base.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
The tangerine and the slinkies and the robot toys.
Beautiful.
And then he locks Rudolph like a car.
Oh God.
Or like the TARDIS. The Doctor did that to the TARDIS.
It's a throwback to End of Time where he did that with the TARDIS, like a car.
Yeah, which
I locked it like a car. It's funny. No.
It's part of what made me think that that Santa was more heavily influenced by the Doctor's mind than anybody else's.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And again, it's such a fantastical entrance. It's just that fantastical. It's not real.
Yeah, and this actually ties into what we find out later on, is that the transition from the infirmary attack to Santa suddenly appearing was done so well that you didn't even notice it at first.
No, this episode is all about different layers of dreams, and you've actually made a very handy diagram for us.
Yes, I have.
With the various different layers. So, from innermost to outermost layer.
Yeah, it starts at the black one. The pink one in the middle is sort of a side dream. Yes. But it starts at the black one and heads outwards towards the red.
By the way, kids watching, if you want to check it out, Brainiac has linked it below. Haven't you?
Brainiac has probably put it in the video itself, but yes.
Yeah, I think it might get a little distorted if you put it in the video, but if you link it as well.
Yeah, also Brainiac is not sure why he's referring to himself in the third person all the time, but there we go.
Yeah. Oh, and I apologize for any spelling or grammatical errors. I typed this up really fast late at night, so...
It's fine, but basically it's different spheres of the dream. It's very interesting, and then you point out the Danny Pink dream is kind of like separate.
Yeah, it's sort of like the end dream of everything. This is like not the starting point, but it's just there in the middle.
It's the deepest, most layer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But only the 2 of them are in it. The other 4 are not.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
This was a very well done layered episode because you had essentially a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, just like Inception. But the transitions between them all were done so well that you didn't even realize you were in yet another layer of the dreams.
Yeah, and another one to that, another little hint, is when they keep saying it's a long story and they realise they're still in the dream.
Yeah, and that's something that's so subtle that you wouldn't realize it until it started being pointed out.
You wouldn't even notice it that they actually said it 20 minutes before they first said it. Yet, believe me, on the second watch I picked it up.
Okay,
Shona and Ashley Carter, and I think possibly Bellows as well, all say it's a long story. But not Professor Albert, because again, he's completely useless in this.
Yeah, his only job was to be
die.
there to be the first one killed. He was the most red shirt of all the red shirts.
He's the only red shirt in the episode. All the others were somewhat protected by their status or the fact that they're Shona.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's still weird that Ashley and Fiona didn't die.
Well, it was Christmas. They couldn't
Fiona,
have everybody die.
Fiona we could have kept for the Starling reveal at the end where it's revealed she's in a wheelchair, because that would have been a really interesting
I'm a little
concept.
surprised that anyone died at all, because it's a Christmas episode.
None of this everybody lives nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
People die on Christmas. People do it all the time.
Somebody just did.
People could get born on Christmas.
One of the actors in Harry Potter just died this Christmas Day.
Oh, which one?
Which one?
Doge.
Who?
The guy, he played Doge, Elpheus Doge.
Oh, so a really minor character that I wouldn't know the name of. Darn it.
Not a very minor actor, though. He's David Ryle, I think his name
Well,
is.
I'm sure he's not. It's just I don't know his name.
No, fair enough.
I don't know the actor's name because it was.
But no, I thought Nick Frost.
And this is coming from a Harry Potter nerd.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even
in the books, he was a minor character.
I think he did well. I think Nick Frost did well with what he was given.
Yeah, like I said before, he was almost sort of the straight man. He provided the means for the elves to do the jokes.
Just one thing about his appearance, though. He's a collective part of the dreamers' minds that he's trying to wake them all up, isn't he? Now, Stephen Moffat has said prior to broadcast that Santa was not an alien, he wasn't evil, anything like that. I do apologise. He never said anything about him being real, though. I sure hope the kids weren't upset on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's like, the tangerine at the end kind of makes it possible that Santa's there, but I don't think that kids would like to see Santa carrying around a dream crab
I think people are
that
reading too
eventually
much into the
attacked Clara.
tangerine. I think people are saying, oh, the tangerine's still there. Are they still in a dream? Is Series 9 going to be in a dream?
No, they're not.
Stephen Moffat's confirmed that's not the case. They are awake. They are back in the quote.
Also, can I just say one thing? If anyone seriously thinks that Stephen Moffat was going to make, like, some or the entirety of Series 9 a dream and pull some sort of stupid Dallas twist, then can I just say, you're an idiot!
Can I counter that?
Yes.
That was what Kuchiri thought was going to happen.
Oh.
Oh, he's right.
Well,
Plus, he technically kind of sort of did this with Amy, where she was that, what was it, the flesh thing?
but that
was a brilliant twist.
Well, that's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
It turned out that Amy was dreaming and not really there. It didn't turn out that everything wasn't really happening or whatever.
The only other time we've dealt with dreams, at least in new Doctor Who, is Amy's Choice.
Good episode.
Very good episode, yes.
And hey, that episode technically never happened, and we still liked it.
That's true, but one episode I'm fine with.
Honestly, a lot of Doctor Who episodes don't happen just because of, timey-wimey stuff.
Rewrites, yeah. Time can be
It's like,
rewritten.
all this stuff happened. No, it didn't.
Yeah, I kind of hate that narrative device now, but there we go.
Yeah, nobody likes the "it was all a dream" ending. Nobody. So I'm pretty sure that if season 9 did turn out to all be a dream, people would have rioted.
I
in
will
the
mark
streets.
you, Moffat.
Will you mark him with the black spot?
Oh, very
Oh,
good.
no.
Very good. Let's move on then to talk about the monsters for this episode. The dream crabs or the Cantrifari.
Gesundheit.
Oh, my.
Thank you. The dream crabs.
Yeah, they're an obvious inspiration on Alien.
Yeah, they're face huggers.
They're part
I mean-
Half-Life, they're part Alien.
They're face huggers, they just don't do your face.
Oh, God.
They literally just hug it and then suck out all your sweet, delicious brain
Actually,
juices.
Alien even got name dropped in the episode with nice.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Keep up, God damn it.
Which is the question, do the dream crabs really actually look like that? Or
Yes.
was it just an influence of both the Doctor's memory of them and the whole facehugger thing?
No,
No,
they do look like
Because
that.
when the surviving dreamers and the Doctor and Clara wake up,
Well, yes, I know, but it was still in its mask form when it was taken off of Clara. And I don't remember seeing it change after that.
true, but I think it's what they really look like.
Yeah. I think the same.
I like the concept. I think they were very menacing, and I love the idea that when they kill you, they make you feel happy by putting you into a dream state.
All you get is that niggling little pain in the side of your head.
The ice cream
Sex.
headache, yeah. It's there's actually a creature in the real world that doesn't kill you per se, but it's similar concept, a vampire bat,
Oh.
because that's a real thing. Like it's not just like in
So,
myths and legends.
yeah. Here's something interesting with the dream
If a
crabs,
vampire bat bites you, you won't know about it because it injects you with a painkiller,
though.
as it laps up your blood like a cat.
There's the thing about the dream crabs that I kind of find interesting is at first when you see this whole Shona dancing scene, she's doing it so she doesn't think about them, because if you think about them they get you. And so even I here, I'm not on the Moffat hate bandwagon that much, but even I sitting there was like, oh, here we go again, monster with rules, don't do this or it'll get you, and don't do the involuntary function or it'll kill you.
The thing is, though, because all of this is a dream, essentially, couldn't it be that just the people who themselves having the dream gave the monsters these rules?
Yeah, that's
Because
exactly where I was going.
That's what happens in movies, like
Yeah.
The Thing or Alien. The monsters have rules that you can use to fight them back.
It's actually kind of brilliant because Moffat he's the guy who does all this narrative subversion stuff in the stories. He's narratively subverting his own goddamn tropes.
Because technically, at the end of it all, the dream crabs don't have rules. They just latch
Yeah.
on and they get rid of you. It's only through the power of imagining that you're safe that, the people are able to get out. That's not a rule. That's something that you hope is going to work.
Exactly.
And it just happens to do it.
Yeah, they were a bit too similar to the Silence, but you made a very good point that if they made up the rules, then that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. I don't think we'll see him again, but I like them.
It's really good. I liked that. It's nice. I think it also that it could have taken inspiration from the horror movies because those monsters have rules too.
I like how this episode ended up being the most Christmassy and the most creepy in equal measure.
Amazing. It's like one of the creepiest Christmas episodes.
It really is. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
they've done creepy Christmas episodes yet, have they? I mean, they've done ones with peril and danger and people getting killed, but they've...
True, yeah.
I kind of have to disagree there for only the fact that the whole episode didn't feel like a Christmas episode. I mean, I know it's at a base and, there's Santa Claus, but there's nothing there to, show more that it's Christmas. I mean, there's the scene with Danny, but we know, by that point, we know for a fact it's in a dream. And we don't know
Sleigh
about
ride?
the other dreams just yet. But don't you think that the other people would, I don't know, make up a small Christmas tree in the corner, maybe some tinsel around, just something to emphasize more that it's Christmas?
Yeah. And one last fact about the dream crabs, and then we'll talk about the Danny Pink dream. But one last thing about the dream crabs. When you see the people in the infirmary, and it turns out that they are actually the same people that the Doctor is interacting with, the scene where they get up off the beds, if you look closely, it is dead obvious that it's the four of them. The back of the head is the giveaway.
Yeah, and also the fact that they have the same body types.
But not the same jackets.
No.
Bellows' jacket is a different colour to the others, and obviously Professor Albert is the biggest guy there and the only guy there, but you couldn't necessarily see that he was a guy. And also when the crabs open up briefly, you see a face inside. Believe that's either Shona or Albert. I don't know. You only see a brief glimpse. It might just be a random actor that they hired.
By the way, because one of you guys always points this out, and I happen to know this for a fact, they actually made animatronic masks that do that open up like that.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. That a whole bunch of this was, actual face masks and not just, CGI.
That supports the theory that it was one of them, one of the actors inside the masks.
Yeah.
When it opened up. So yeah, that's all well and good. And also when they came out the TARDIS, that was really quite unsettling. And then they look back, and there's a whole bunch of them. Like more than there were people on the base.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait.
Well, it was obvious it was a dream by then. Everybody knew it was a dream, and they were terrified.
I was beginning to think, wait, does that mean there are more people out there that the Doctor's not going to save? But no, they weren't actually really there at this point.
No, because here's the thing: when you're in a nightmare and you have something chasing you, and you're so terrified, it's a nightmare. It's not going to be logical. There's going to be more of that thing chasing you if you are really extremely terrified of it.
Yeah. So then
it's a nightmare. This is the type of thing where once I had a dream of a clown popping out through reflective surfaces to get the people around me. It's not going to make sense.
Yeah. Just to briefly touch then on the Danny Pink dream, which is the deepest dream of them all that only Clara and later the Doctor have. What do we think of this scene?
I was sad.
I guess.
Well, you're meant to be, because he's actually still dead.
I know. It was a beautiful setting, though. I mean, everything was done really, really well. I mean, the chalkboard suddenly popping up, I would believe that.
I'm going to make a statement, and you might disagree with me. I think this was a better send-off than he got in Death in Heaven.
Yes.
Okay.
His line of, I died saving Clara, the rest of you just got lucky, brilliant.
Yeah.
And keep in mind
a little cold, but brilliant.
Well, keep in mind that this isn't Danny Pink. This is Danny Pink as Clara sees him.
Yeah, this is Clara's dream version of Danny, ideal version of Danny.
But it could also be that Danny is also part of her subconscious because of what he says at the end. Not just,
Nah.
It was nice to see him again, though, because that was one thing they definitely kept under wraps, that Samuel Anderson was back.
It's funny, because I've got satellite TV. I did the little, how you could get information on programs on satellite.
Oh, yes, you spoiled it for yourself.
Yeah, it said Last Christmas, Peter Capaldi, Jenna Coleman, Samuel Anderson.
I had to be very sneaky and say, right, it's probably just outdated from the last series, knowing full well he was in it.
That's what I assumed too.
Knowing full well he was in it, I didn't want to spoil it for you.
But no, I have a serious reason for thinking that Danny Pink was also part of Clara's subconscious.
Go on. Because
in the whole thing, you can see Clara does not want to go on. She is perfectly ready to just sit there and die. She shows this at least twice, where, the first time is when she's in the dream with Danny Pink. She wants to stay there and experience it through to the end. The second time is when she's on the sleigh with Santa at the end of the episode. She decides to just sit there and stay for a bit. These are not the actions of somebody who wants to escape from death.
No.
I mean, she even ignored the doctor when the doctor tried to, tell her that she was dying.
And this is why I think... Sorry, go on.
The fact that Danny Pink is the one who says, no, you have to go, I don't think this is just Clara saying it. I think this is Clara's subconscious telling her that, no, you really don't want to die. You need to go now. You know that this is not what Danny would want.
I completely accept that theory. I also like how the music...
I'm pretty sure it's like half her memory of Danny and half her subconscious in him.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm sorry, you go on.
No, it's okay. I also liked how the music started distorting the moment the Blackboard messages started showing up.
Oh my god.
It was just a really nice addition to the ethereal, dreamlike feel of the entire scene. Okay then, so we should probably get to talking about the last 10 minutes or so, because this was really kind of beautiful.
Are you talking about the nightmare with the dream crabs?
Let's talk about from the moment that Professor Albert got sucked into the TV and died, presumably.
Oh boy. Spooky.
The sleigh ride.
Mm.
The sleigh ride is brilliant.
Well, first, can I just mention the whole, like I said, before Santa saves them, they're outside. There's multiple versions of themselves coming after them. It really reminded me of like some Nightmare on Elm Street shit. Like, oh no, the reality's being distorted, and these things are coming at you, and you can't wake up, and they're going to kill you.
Actually, the rules of the dream crabs inside of the dream kind of also fit with Nightmare on Elm Street, because the whole idea of Freddy Krueger existing is because people keep remembering him.
Oh.
But just when it looks like all hope is lost for everybody, back comes Santa to save everyone, and we get this beautiful sleigh ride scene.
Yeah, but you forget the best part of the doctor's line. It's Christmas. Who are you gonna call?
Oh, that was not the best part of it.
Ghostbusters?
I cringed
No,
at
I'm
that
saying
line.
that was the best line for me.
More so than I will mark you, Santa.
More so than I'm riding a sleigh.
It was great.
I like the Ghostbusters references.
It was great to just see the Doctor having fun for once.
And hey, they even fixed Big Ben after the stupid goddamn Slitheen.
That was fixed a long time ago. They explained that in the narrative, but never mind.
Do you want to drive the sleigh? Yes.
You're a construct of my either. You're representing my either fighting or inspiring mind. But do you want to take the reins? Yeah, go on then. Yes. And also the face that he pulled when Clara hugged him.
Oh my god.
That is just the best. Tom,
I'm telling you, this was a huge shipping episode.
Tom Madness, who watches our reviews and comments on them, like makes comments about them to me. He basically said, "You better put that in there, or I will be so disappointed."
Don't want to disappoint you, Tom.
It's in there, Tom. It's in there, and you even got a mention. But yeah, I love the sleigh ride. It was kind of sad that all the people were going off and probably never seeing each other again, with one possible exception, as I've already stated. I'm not going to go into that again, don't worry. And just when it looks like it's all over, and the dream crabs have finally lost, we get another beautiful, poignant scene. Old Clara.
Old Clara, what a surprise.
No.
I don't think anybody expected that.
I did, because it was rumoured.
You.
I told you, it was rumoured that was going to be her exit, that she was going to wake up as an old woman.
Well, all the sensible people who don't look up rumours before the episode
I didn't look up rumours, people were telling them to me.
All the stupid people who went on Twitter and other popular social media sites.
No, I mean people were actually telling it to my face.
Hey, if we're mentioning Twitter and stupid people, I should confess that I'm pretty sure I saw at one point, like before the episode aired, someone was saying, "Oh, I heard that Last Christmas was all a dream. Fucking stupid Moffat, Jesus."
That was
stupid. But it was done so well. I don't even care that it was a dream.
Yeah,
this is like the best way to make that whole episode a dream that I could find.
I can throw away my hatred of it was all a dream for 1 hour on Christmas Day. That's fine.
I don't even need to defend it because we all liked it. So there we go.
But yeah, the old Clara scene was just brilliant, and a lovely parallel to Time of the Doctor with the Christmas cracker.
Oh, that was just lovely.
It was such a beautiful scene. I swear I was crying during that.
Would we have been happy if that had been her exit?
If that had been her exit, I would be okay with it.
Because I don't just have a theory, and this is Kuchiri's theory again. He reckons that the final ending was a last-minute rewrite. So he reckons that it ended with old Clara dying peacefully with the Doctor by her side after having one last Christmas, because every Christmas is the last Christmas, as they drilled into our heads 15 billion times.
Well, here's the thing. I guess we'll never know until Moffat puts out his memoirs.
Maybe. But
I have to say, though, if it does turn out that it was a rewrite, that's a really good rewrite.
Any one of Clara's exits could have worked, like false exits, so staying with Danny Pink, or staying on Santa's sleigh and refusing to wake up, or being an old woman and dying peacefully. Any of those would have worked.
Yeah, because the old Clara, she lived a really nice life.
So Stephen Moffat,
she was lonely, but still.
Stephen Moffat had better have one hell of a good way to actually bow Clara out when it finally does happen.
Yep.
All these false exits are gonna dilute it. They're going to devalue it.
Yeah.
But I love the scene, and the upshot of it all is Jenna Coleman is back for another series. Woohoo!
Can I say something regarding this?
In your face, Clara Who, people. Yeah, go on.
Oh my god. So, yeah, I'm going to bring him up again, but Phil Sanford did a review of Time of the Doctor, and he said something to the effect of, the Doctor grows old and then he dies, but except he doesn't because that's a more interesting story. You know, in regards to regeneration.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with Clara. Clara grows old and she just retires, and then she doesn't because the Doctor and Clara running off hand in hand in the snow is a more interesting story.
And a more uplifting one.
Yes.
Because they're back together and all the problems they had in the last few episodes have been not written out, but have been resolved. And they can move on.
Yeah, I think the whole point of the Clara as an old woman scene is the fact that it's all about their regrets. The fact that they ended on such a bad note and one that wasn't really resolved. And while, yes, they did kind of resolve that whole thing earlier on in this episode, this is still a culmination of the whole thing, where they've been apart for so long that, you know, she grew old, she went on with her life, but to the Doctor, she's still the same. So this whole idea really shows them both, you know, hey, this is bad. We need to get back together and go back on adventures, because otherwise we're going to regret everything. And hence why we have Santa come in and say, like, hey, dude, you better get going.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be, you know, too late. So it's like, the scene really, really works in that regard.
It really does.
And it's like, that's why I like the fake out so much, because it's a really, really good fake out. And really, it could work either with or without the fake out. I don't even care. They're both amazing.
I'll make a statement here and eat a little bit of humble pie at the same time. I've criticised Stephen Moffat in the past series throughout the 12 reviews that we did. Well, some of us did anyway, but throughout the
heaven
reviews...
heaven knows I did it all the time.
Throughout the reviews, I've criticised him at certain points for taking the easy option or being lazy with the writing or, you know, it's just not quite working with the plot.
Yep.
Here, whether by an accident or some brilliant intention, it all came together and it all worked, pretty much.
It's all good.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's probably one of the top 3 Christmas episodes that they've done.
This is what we want, Moffat. This is what we want.
It's up there with End of Time Part 1. It's up there with A Christmas Carol. It's up there with Time of the Doctor.
It's up there with Boys for the Damned... Wait, no.
We don't mention
like,
that episode.
With the exception of, like, Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline and all those other good episodes that happened before, I would have to say that this is probably one of my top episodes for this season.
It's certainly in the top 5.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
And it's funny you should bring that up because we now have to wait until August or even September, I believe, for another 13 episodes. But don't cry, because I have this covered. Mm-hmm. Because in a couple of months' time, we're going to come back and we're going to look at Series 8 as a whole.
Ooh.
Backed by no demand whatsoever, the retrospective.
I have it covered too, because I got 26 years of Classic Who to watch.
I was going to say, I don't know why you're crying.
Yeah. You don't.
But Series 9 hasn't even been filmed yet. I believe they've written 3 episodes and Stephen Moffat knows the arc for the series, and that's it.
Please let it be better than the Missy arc. That's all we ask.
Please let Missy return.
What arc? That wasn't even an arc.
I suppose it was. We
please let the train wreck that was Missy. Please let it be better than that.
But this is why we're going to talk about it on its own thing when we look back at Series 8 as a whole and the various issues contained within. So that was last Christmas. It was pretty damn good, and all that remains is to thank my guests, FreezingInferno.
Hi.
And Kat.
Yay!
And the absent Kuchiri, because he did contribute to this, whether he was here or not. And we'll see you in a couple of months' time for the Series 8 retrospective. Until then, bye for now.